Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Ha ha ha. So, Fanny was on the hot seat. I know you all watched it or watched some clips of it. Hi, Island Girl. How you doing? Uh, I was watching it today, and boy, I tell you, it wore me out. A lot of things were happening. Trump went to New York, and uh, the way they put it out on these bought and paid for channels that put out. I'm over 30 seconds, so I could say Papa, and the other part is Genda. Hi, Jax. How are you? Rubber Toe. Be charming. Nice to see y'all. So, all these paid shills having their little utizzle channels put up federal judge rejects Trump's request. You know, it's the same Judge Mascara, the one that's got his eyes tattooed like Michael Jackson did, so he doesn't have to put on his mascara every day. I'm not kidding you, folks. Unless he puts mascara on. I've never seen anybody born with mascara around their eyes. But maybe he does it every day. I don't know. It looks to me like it's tattooed on there, but that's the guy, the federal judge. They don't mention, like they say, federal judge refuses to recuse the judge. Well, it's the same daggone judge. But B-Dog, how you doing? Sassy Cat, Karen, Sherry, Joan, KNS Cleanup. Hi, Diane, Alan, Melinda, Debbie. Wow, everybody's rolling. Marla, Sassy Cat. Is it ever going to stop? Well, you know, it's getting good. Oh, I'm breaking up, you say. Are y'all getting a good signal? Because there's not much I can do if it's breaking up. What's the signal like for everybody else? I hope I got some 5x5s out there. Diane was laughing all the way through the Fani Willis. Boy, she came out there. Everybody else says all good. Hi, Araceli, how you doing? David, how you doing? Yeah, give it some time. You know, just, if you hear a little boop or bloop or something like that, don't ring the alarm bell right away. Takes me off a train of thought. It could be your device or your situation, not mine. So, anyway, let's Pappy Two Bears. Let's see who else coming in. If I missed anybody, I apologize. So, well, I'm glad everybody's doing good. So, yeah, Fanny came out there. She didn't even wait to get called in. She come walking in there like everybody step aside now. I'm here. Give me. I need this form. I need that form. Then give me that binder over there. And who's got my glasses? I need a pair of glasses. And give me some water. You come here. Give me some water. Hold on, Judge. I'll get with you in a minute. If you or I behaved that way in the courtroom, we'd be sitting behind bars for contempt of court. And she kept up too. And the judge did maintain eventually some discipline in the courtroom. But for these, you know, mouth-breathing droolers that people like that are heroes to them. What are you going to do with people like that? You know, they're going to think that this is good. This is the way for people to behave. This is what their heroes should look like. Somebody who comes in with a big mouth and a bad attitude in the courtroom. That is good. That's the way everything should go. Bottom line is, hey, you're going to tell everybody you had $9,000, whatever she settled up on. At one point, she said $15,000, but then her little pea brain started working towards the end. She said, "Well, it's somewhere between 2 and 9." Give us all a damn break. What's Trump going to court over? They're saying he gave Stormy Daniels, who, by the way, owes Trump hundreds of thousands of dollars, a judgment against her. And that's not going away. But they're saying Trump paid the hush money and broke some kind of dopey New York law or whatever they're pulling out of their backside. And while he's dealing with that, Fani Willis lets it slip. I kept some of my campaign money, cash, and brought it home with me because she started thinking, how am I going to justify I had $15,000 cash in my home or $10,000, like my father said? And then this isn't my words, it's her words. You know how old black men are. My father's an old black man, and he told me to always have this kind of cash. Now, I know my dad is going to get mad at me because sometimes I didn't have as much cash as he told me I needed to have at home. And you'll meet my daddy. He'll be in here tell you what he told me about cash. And then her little brain was creaking along, working, and goes, oh, well, I took some of my campaign money and I got some of that cash and I brought it home with me. Of course, I'm going to do what my daddy told me. Wait a minute. So you're using cash from your campaign to pay back Nathan for your cruises and your caviar and your wine tastings and your Grey Goose vodka. She got into all that stuff. You know how some people, they say, well, they take them in for interrogation. In the old days, they say, well, we used to have to slap them around to get them to talk. Well, now on the days that you got to slap them around to shut them up, she kept talking and talking and dug a hole for herself. But like I said, there's a certain percentage who's going to think this is some kind of heroic behavior. And no, what we're seeing is an idiot. So even MSNBC said, hey, she's got to go. She's causing trouble. When you get MSNBC putting that out there, you got some problems. So it was interesting to watch. There's a lot of stuff that wasn't allowed in that I thought, maybe it's going to come later. The trips to DC, the trips to the White House. They did ask her about them because she opened the door. It was already agreed not to discuss that kind of stuff with her, but she started opening doors. So they said, did you ever go to the White House? She said no. So look for Secret Service records or something. But I'm sure they're taking a pulse. And if she's dug too deep of a hole for herself, they're going to have to find some way to say, look, we think it's more important to go after this insurrectionist Donald Trump than to be distracted with this stuff that's going on now. So we're going to appoint a new person and blah, 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 and get somebody new in. It all depends on how this stuff plays. But, they got into everything. The CVID, right? Oh, what a horrible time it was. We all had to be safe and sterile. And I had to leave my home because of threats. I was waiting for one of them to say, well, did you, if we get a hold of law enforcement, are we going to be able to have a record of these threats that you say is the reason why you had to leave your home? Because the rumors were the old man, the father, didn't want her shacking up in his house, which he said was my house. I bought it with my sweat, my labor and stress. Huh. So I guess we'll find out. because we're going to hear from Daddy, according to her. But the years in question, 2021, when he was hired, she's denying they had any relationship. And she was claiming that she had to leave her father's home or her home where her father stayed, whatever, because of all these horrible threats from these crazy MAGA insurrectionists, don't you know? But on the other hand, she had to admit, well, she left her father in the same house that she was too afraid to stay in because it was sterile there. You know, just the most ridiculous mental jumping jacks. But the thing is that she put out she did everything, but remember the 3 snaps in a Z formation or whatever that joke was they did on In the Living Color, called 3 snaps in a Z formation. She did everything but that, mouthing off on the stand. So we'll talk more about that because the witness that testified, I kind of felt bad for her. Not kind of, I did feel bad for her. But I want to talk real quick about what we talked about last night. I usually don't broadcast on Wednesdays, but here, as you all know, the afternoon gets taken up with somebody ringing this bell about missiles and the internet being knocked out and all this. Well, just what we were discussing. A distraction. This Thomas character, what's his name? Mike Thomas, trying to delay a vote. Delay a vote. So is he going to be in trouble for trying to delay a vote? Or 2 votes, really? Let's see, Clay Higgins supports an inquiry into Mike Turner after he sounded the alarm about a national security threat. He said, I do support a respectful inquiry from the Speaker's office. And if it does not happen, then, you know, we'll take the next step. So apparently it knocked some debates and legislation off kilter, even though we've talked in the past that Putin's been saying for a couple of years that they have the upper hand in hypersonic missiles. They always have. They pioneered it. So the narrative goes, well, Russia is so backwards. They're reusing tanks from World War II. The whole country's getting ready to collapse, and Ukraine is going to overthrow Putin. It goes from that to they're going to take these advanced missiles and knock everything out as far as internet worldwide, and they disrupt the entire Earth. So, you know, yeah, we're starting to see these little operatives. Fubar, how are you doing? Or whatever that means. Hi, Jax. Let's see. Turner was a new Crizzle last week. Aha. Hi, Lori. Doug says, wait, it's going to get better. Hi, Donna. Kicking bird. Yeah, tomorrow witnesses testify tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I think Fani, she might get called back up on the stand again. And, you know, she was, I don't know what she was on, but she definitely tried to dominate. And it did get to the point where the judge said, look, you keep this up, and I'm going to have to strike all your testimony. And she settled down somewhat. Ha ha ha! Yeah, new insight. How you doing? It was funny when he said you called me a cash. What? He said this hoard of cash, or the cash you hoarded. She said, "What did you call me?" thought you used a word that kind of sounds like hoard when you hoard money or hoard gasoline or food. So Yeah, no receipts, Melinda. That's right. She got no receipts. Well, I don't get receipts from my friends. Oh, did you get receipts when you took it from your campaign? 15,000. Oh no, no, nine, or maybe it was only two. I don't know, but it was some good caviar. Fubar, I don't, you're welcome to be here, but I don't care for that kind of innuendo. Okay, we keep it real here. We don't need to get into. Plus, I know what your name means. Well, how about you get a different name come in, because I don't like. I could have somebody's kids watching my broadcast. I try to keep stuff clean. Yeah, get a new name. Something that doesn't have a nasty inferences or sexual connotations, and you're welcome to come back. And yeah, FJB, everybody says that's no problem. Hi, Gary, how you doing? So, how about you do that, Fubar? Just set you up change your name or get a different account, because I don't want to see that name in my chats. Okay, I don't allow stuff that's S3 actual in nature. But there's millions of channels to go to that, they use all kind of language and talk all kinds of stuff like that. So, hi, Ronald, how you doing? So, anyway, this witness, her name was Robin Yurdy. Robin Yurdy. Now, she was on Zoom, right? And the picture quality wasn't that good. But I didn't get the name of the young lady who was a whistleblower who was fired, by pointing out that they were misdirecting money in Fani Willis's office. And all the people that think Fani's doing a great job, that she really handled all these Trump people and whatever, they don't realize that this is limited to how much she benefited from her office and conflicts. But there's a lot of deeper stuff that is going to be gotten into. And it's like Whitaker said, he was on Fox News. And he said, well, Nathan opened the door. One of the commentators say, what do you think about Nathan saying he put all these trips on his business card, but then took cash from Fani and didn't report it with his taxes? And Whitaker said, well, unreported income is a problem. It can lead to a big problem for him, but it's probably not as big a problem as the other things they've been involved in. Well, what could be more of a bigger problem, right? Misusing federal funds, okay? The White House trip, are they interfering with an election? Were they colluding with to cause election interference? Okay, were they tampering with evidence? Were they obstructing justice by withholding evidence? Are they perjuring themselves? Now we know that perjury's on the table with Nathan, and some documents that Fani also endorsed that were false. But boy, she had the nerve when she got up there to call people liars to their face. When somebody asked her a question, that's a lie. You're lying. So, I can't get up there and say, did you benefit by going to the Bahamas. You're a liar. What the hell are you talking about? Answer the question. But everybody was super nice to her. The other moronic thing she did was admit that she didn't even know which. They asked her how many continents she'd been to, and she said, "Well, I've been to Aruba, and I've been to Belize, and I've been here and there, but I don't know what continents they're on." Just absolutely ridiculous. So, oh yeah, they were pulling that race card, KS. She was pulling that race card big time, and she was down talking men. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but it is annoying that it's okay to say, well, you know how men are when it comes to relationships, and they expect certain things. Women don't. It's appealing to, the people who sit at home and watch Oprah or sit on their stoop all day in the neighborhood because they got nothing better to do, might appeal to them. But it doesn't appeal to us. Oh, yeah. She doesn't like to be called a liar, but she had no trouble calling Mr. T every name in the book. Every name in the book. So anyway, this lady who was a witness, who knows what she's been approached with, find a note or somebody come up and say, something, because she was pretty low key. But she said what she needed to say. She kept it very simple. But I have a way of reading people sometimes. And she looked upset to me. She looked like she was unhappy that she was in the position she was in. And I think she was exuding concern, because I wouldn't trust these people as far as you could throw them. And damn good and well, they've been working with the White House. She was meeting with Kamala Harris, and they're going to dig into that in their own good time. But these people are dangerous, and I'm wondering about the whistleblower. Her situation wasn't germane to this particular hearing. This hearing is more or less about gifts and the personal relationship and the truthfulness of Nathan and Fani. The whistleblower gets into inter-office abuses of money for federal programs. It's just something that's extraneous to what they're hearing today. But boy, I tell you what, I would be very concerned. And this is what happens. All right, this is what happens when you use these low IQ nitwits to be your legal mercenaries paid to go after somebody, and you have a weak, not even weak, a accusations that rise to the level of criminality, and try to act like you're working under the auspices of the law. This is the kind of degeneracy that gets laid out for people to see. These are the kind of problems that are going to crop up. So I look for people to, they were saying, well, the judge might be getting a message to take it easy on Fani, or he may be an operative to get Trump no matter what, kind of like the Alvin Bragg Trump Judge Mascara, and the other one, Judge Engoron, They're on a mission. They're on a mission to get Trump. And that one in Florida, Middleton, which we hadn't heard much from him yet, but we're going to hear all their names. But this one, I'm not too sure about. And I feel that the Georgia case, Trump wants it, even though he said the case should be thrown out because Fani Willis is tainted, whatever. This is going to be the opportunity to do what's never been allowed, to put forward all of this irregularities, all of the law breaking, all the evidence that was never shown in a courtroom. It was shown in Gettysburg with Rudy Giuliani. But that wasn't a courtroom, okay? That was private property. Well, it was a park, really. It was privately set up. So I think it's going to go through, and they're going to be, hi, television shows, how are you? It's going to be evaluated as to what kind of damage Fani and Nathan have taken and are going to possibly take tomorrow. So a lot of people were saying, and I mentioned it last night, a lot of people were saying, well, Trump was going to be there today. And I said, well, I was hearing from other people that Trump was going to be in New York. So I didn't get my hopes up. And sure enough, Trump was in New York. So he couldn't be two places at once. And I don't think, Trump sucks the air out of the room wherever he goes. And this situation was Fani's hot seat, okay? That spotlight was on her. It was focused, zeroed in, and bright and hot. And she had to sit in the spotlight. So in hindsight, the notion of Trump showing up there and taking away some of that heat, sucking the air out of the room, and getting her some shelter would not have been a good thing. Trump had to be somewhere else, Nobody can pull the Haley stunt saying he was a chicken, didn't show up in Georgia. Well, he had to go to New York because of Alvin Bragg. Now, I do want to give Alvin a little bit of credit because Trump's given him a little bit of credit. He has publicly said, it's on the record, and he has not disputed it, that he didn't want to take this case. And for anybody that's listening, that, I may have some quiet people out there. We saw it last night. People come in the chats, and they're always welcome to come in the chats, but they listen but don't be involved in the chats. Well, we may have some people who have in the past felt honestly that Trump had committed some kind of crimes. Well, most of the people in the chats, especially tonight, know that he has not. That it is not against the law. As Trump said after his hearing today, all the legal experts say there was no crime committed. It's called hush money. Not because you are saying, hey, you keep quiet about what I did bad. No, that's not what it is in many cases. It's like, look, I know what you're saying about me is false. Just like I was talking about the doorman at Trump Tower lying about Trump having a love child. And they paid him off and he had to keep his mouth shut. But they knew he was lying. But the damage he would have caused was not worth it. And he lost his job at Trump Tower, and they paid him, I think it was $17,000 cash. And don't talk to nobody about it. So That's not against the law. And if you're doing it as an expense, like if Trump wasn't running for president, he could care less if somebody's talking some stupid lie. But if it's going to interfere with your ability to run your campaign, hey, you got to spend the money. So, and it's not against the law. What did Fani Willis do? The other thing everybody found out, the general public, those who were paying attention, had all her employees sign non-disclosure agreements when these subpoenas started flying about what was going on in the office. Now, the validity of those non-disclosure agreements can be debated. But what the heck's the difference between hush money and Fani running around getting everybody in the office to swear and sign to keep their job that they won't talk about Nathan's relationship with her? It's not illegal to have non-disclosure agreements. And a lot of people say, well, you're not going to get my signature unless I get some money for my signature. Now, in some cases, it can be extortion and bribery. That's all legal nuances. But a private agreement is another situation. So it's not a crime. It's not a crime. So New York's theory is that it is criminal because Trump's organization did not disclose there was a hush agreement. Wait a minute. That's not being very hush. That means they're worthless. I pay money to somebody. Would you stop saying what you're saying? Here's 10 grand and you keep your mouth shut. And if you say anything and cause me trouble, I want my 10 grand back plus I'm suing you. Sign here. Okay, that's legal. According to New York, I'm supposed to run and go, hey, I just paid this guy $10,000 to keep quiet about me. It defeats the agreement. It's idiotic. An idiotic charge. Hi, Nikki, how you doing? That's right. Hit the thumbs up. Last night I didn't say that very much, and didn't get much. Made thumbs up. So if y'all do that for me, it helps the video get around. So anyway. Jerry Lee, how you doing? Well, I see our friend hadn't changed his name. So when you get a name change, you can start a different account. I just don't like those kind of nasty things in my chat. So I'll put you in timeout for, I think it's 3 minutes. If you can change your name and come back in, you're welcome to do it. But timing you out, and I don't want to say the name again. I already said it 3 times. I don't like talking that way. Oh, it was a timeout, but it says something else. Oh, well, nothing I can do about it. I asked nicely a couple times. Hi, Phil. So, oh yeah, Evan Eddie was charged with extortion or bribery of Nike. He was demanding a large amount of money. The dude. You got a bot army? 2,000 accounts. Wow. So everybody, the rules are to no foul language, And if there's touchy words like S3X, use a 3 for the E, and a 0 for an O, and a 1 for an I, or a 1 for an L, and that way words that that UTISL may have a problem with, or that I'll have a problem with, like Melinda put in there, did you hear that S0R0S son is seeing? Yeah, Huma. She's seeing Sorosio Jr. I got a picture that I was going to put in my thumbnail, but it was getting so late. I got a picture in my studio of him and Huma having their Valentines together. Oh, James Comer said he's subpoenaing credit card companies for the financial records of Biden family members. Oh, yeah. Idaho House passes bill that would allow convicted child S3X offenders, right, whose victims were under the age of 12, to be given the ultimate penalty. So that's another state that's going to be on par with Florida. That's going to have the penalty for people piddling around with young'uns. Their lights will get put out, right? Hi, Bill. How you doing? Doug, how you doing? That's right. Gag. Melinda. The dude. That guy wanted, I just got rid of, might have been one of the dude's bots. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works. But I know some people do. Some people do that. They pay a certain amount of money for so many subscribers, and they're all, none of them are really worth anything. Well, I guess we didn't talk about it last night, but I guess you heard Putin said he'd rather have Biden in the White House than Trump. Because what did he say? He said Biden was more predictable, and that he was an old school politician. So you could pretty much figure out that they're on the take, is what he was saying. And I think he was saying, well, you're pretty much dealing with a crook, and they're easy to deal with a politician than Trump. Trump, he thought, was unpredictable because Trump's operating from a different plane, right? I mean, he's independently wealthy. So the other thing, Putin gave an interview, I told y'all last night, he gave a speech that nobody covered. And I didn't see anybody on Truth Social pick it up. So I'm going to have to put a post in there for what that's worth. And I'll try to put one uses, but a VA and then X for cancer. What do you think? You think I get in trouble if I say, hey, Putin said they're close to having a miracle? But I didn't see anybody in Truth say anything about it. But he gave the speech yesterday. So he also gave an interview where he said Putin said he was disappointed that Tucker didn't ask tougher questions. I was thinking the same thing. Now we know that Putin gave him a history lesson, right? He actually gave the Western world a factual description of the relationship between Ukraine and the Russian Empire since 900 AD. Tucker said he thought it was a stall tactic. But I was saying, well, if I would have looked for him to ask a lot more aggressive questions. So Putin agreed. He said, I honestly thought, this is a quote, I honestly thought he was going to ask these aggressive and tough questions. I wasn't just ready for it, I wanted it. It would have given me an opportunity to respond. And Tucker's still in Russia. He put out a video that $100 buys him what it would cost in America, groceries. It would cost him $400 in America. He can buy it in Russia for $100. So he says he's radicalized. Tucker, I don't know how sincere he is by saying that. He says he's radicalized against Western leadership because of the gross difference between how far you can go with a dollar versus each country. Somebody's getting some money from somebody. Hi, Alan. How you doing? There you go. Single songwriter, 103 U.S. dollars. He fed his crew for a whole week. His whole crew for a week, yeah. So I was looking for, honestly, I didn't bring it up because I keep on and on about it. I haven't heard anybody talk about it. When they were saying, well, why don't you give up this American spy? I thought Putin was going to say, how come you all didn't ask about your own citizen that the Ukrainians had imprisoned? You didn't ask anybody to let him go. A California resident, Coach Red Pill. Remember, I've gone over his situation many times and did videos on him. Gonzalo Lira. I thought he was going to bring that up, and he didn't. But maybe it's because he was expecting it, and it never got asked. Oh, man. Well, Nikki, you're from Michigan, and I don't want to, you probably already heard about this. I'm going, whoa, where's, hi, Larry. That's right. It's probably good natural food, too. Doesn't have a bunch of Klaus Schwab bugs ground up in it. The alphabet people are looking for a red notebook. I heard there was a binder with a lot of information people are looking for, and about a lot to do with this spying on Mr. T. That's right. New insight. No, German chocolate and stuff like that. European food doesn't have that GMOs in there. So anyway, had to hit the sneeze button. Wait a second. Oh, I didn't get to hit the button that time. Oh, gee whiz. Anyway, I'm still getting over my little situation. But anyway, in Michigan, illegal immigrants are organizing and stealing millions of dollars from high-end homes in Michigan. Police suspect a crime syndicate from South America is behind the burglaries. We're talking millions. This is one of the places that got hit. Did you hear about this, Nick? I bet you have. One of the places got hit, a place called Grove Point Farms, a high-end subdivision, and they say that houses that are backed up, like they got woods in their backyard, they'll hide in the woods, and between 5 and 9 o'clock, you know, they'll case the joint, and they'll know, oh, okay, they're at work, or they won't be home for a while, or they just jimmy the door and go in. They'll take anything they can carry. All right, they'll take jewelry, purses, electronics, silverware if you got it, and out the door they go. And they say that Oakland County, Michigan, is one of the counties. Birmingham, they say that's organized teams, like teams of 3 or 4 guys. And they'll go to these high-end neighborhoods, and they say it's rampant. Just absolutely rampant. Whoa. Here, them chats are froze again. Maybe I sneezed on my phone and messed it up. Whoops. These people. Oh, that's right. I touched your comment a little too long, went up there. There we go. There we go. What in the world have I done here? Oh, about Crossfire Hurricane. Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be stuff coming out. Thank you, Marilyn. Oh, yeah, they're looking for the peds, Jack. That's right. They're looking for more, the peds are high on the list, but there's so much you're looking for. Grosse Pointe and Birmingham are very wealthy neighborhoods. Yeah. Well, they're a little less wealthy now. So, a lot of people with security and money, and by security, I mean they got monthly check, they can retire early. They got all the best benefits. What are they? Government workers, and they go to these high-end neighborhoods. Most of your high-end neighborhoods are probably 50% entrepreneurs, and the other 50% are retired government workers. So these a lot of retired, not all of them, a lot of them, though, are going to support the old guard, okay? You don't really have a boss. You don't have a boss. You have really liberal work hours and requirements when you have to be there, how you have to be there. You can work from home, so-called. Something I noticed that I didn't bring up last week. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube videos about teachers drunk at work. And it's really sad. And I'm here to tell you, you can take that right back to the stay home, stay safe, okay? The work from home. Trump said it. I talked about it. There was going to be a rise in alcoholism, people becoming day drinkers. And now you see YouTube videos. I hope they do take them down, because some of them seem like, no, they shouldn't be allowed to do it. And they should get in some manner of trouble. But it is the residue of psychological damage that came from the policies that were forced on the people during the event. I just call it the event. You had a lot of people that just got in the habit of day drinking, and now you see these YouTube videos of teachers getting called in, and they say, "You had anything to drink?" And you see them getting worried, getting scared. They're not blue-haired maniacs. They're just probably teachers that have taught for 20 or 30 years. They say, "We smell something on you," and I hate that. I hate that the videos are out there forever. I think they should look out for that. They should try to do some manner of program to straighten it out and not ruin people's lives, but get them to stop doing it. But I hate that people are getting put on YouTube, and I know why it started. I mean, in the years I was going to school, our old shop teacher, he was in his 70s. smell that he went out and had his hit off the can of Schlitz or something. But that wasn't, who cared? Nobody cared back then. And it wasn't like he was staggering around. That's the only one I remember. And nobody cared because it wasn't an issue. But and in those days, it was almost expected. There wasn't any. You had to be fallen down or have gotten in a fender bender for you to. I mean, you could sit in your car and have a cop car sitting next to you with the window down, talking to the cop, and have a Schlitz between your legs. Back in my day. And the cop didn't care. Matter of fact, he probably had a bottle under his seat. Well, I know he did because I rode around with him. He pulled the bottle out. And we had to pull off the bottle. That's what we used to call it, pull off the bottle. Riding around a squad car. So, and it wasn't the type of laws we had back then. So, but now anyway, you see this residual where people are being irreparably humiliated, careers destroyed, spread all over the internet. And you know why. Oh, yeah, single songwriter. I smoked on an airplane going to Europe. Going an 8-hour flight. Standing at the back of the plane. They had a little horseshoe bar. Sitting there smoking a cigarette. Nobody cared. Oh, yeah. So, all right, there we go. Some people don't want to learn. Zoe Bonnie, how you doing? Joey is asking, is Diamond okay? Wanda, you did not. You smoked with a bus driver in high school? Jack say in airplanes they're in the wings. The wings are actually fuel tanks. That's where the gas is. The fuel. That's right, New Insight. Oh, that's why I talked about that in the past. They couldn't have these type of onerous DUI laws when there were still World War II and Korean veterans and non-vets, because a lot of them were flying airplanes or driving tanks or whatever, and they'd have half a bottle of booze sloshing around in them and fly better than you could ever think of. They thought it was ridiculous. Now you can't even smell a beer and they want to put you in jail, take your license. What it's really to keep people from getting together at bars, taverns, just like in 1776, and getting ideas. Naked had a smoking corral. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, good. She'll be back Saturday. That's good. My bus driver used to tell everybody to calm down, straighten up, or I'm gonna put a knot on your eye. I never thought, how does she put a knot on somebody's eye? But it was enough of a warning. We calmed down. Nobody wanted to find out how you got a knot on your eye. But anyway, did you hear Javier Milei? Javier, crazy Javier. He is the South American Trump. He's coming to CPAC next weekend. Have you all heard that? That's right, the dude. Munich started the beer hall push. The beer hall push in Munich. But, you know, the American Revolution was started in taverns, so that's why nobody should be driving around pissy drunk where they get in wrecks and stuff. But the taking it down to 0.10, one state wants to go to 0.05, which is you might as well outlaw drinking. That's prohibition again, and it's ridiculous. Something's got to be done about it. You know, Trump, he's a teetotaler. He doesn't like drinking at all, so it's not an issue for him. Yeah, ashtrays you flipped them open just like in a car. And remember those little aluminum ashtrays in the McDonald's? They had, I used to have a stack of those. A stack must have been 200 of them in the stack. I don't know what I ever did that stack. I see people sell them on eBay. Old McDonald's little ashtrays they used to hand out. That's right. You can sit in somebody's hospital room and smoke a cigarette. Astro, how you doing? That's right. Now, that's a little outrageous there nowadays. Do you think about it? Joe Manchin wants Mitt Romney as vice president on an independent ticket. How much traction do you think that's going to get him? Joe Manchin and Mitt Romney. So they are attempting to line something like that up. And a Lincoln Project rhinos, Karl Rove rhinos, all Nikki Haley gang, all that trash is going to try to go over there and get something done with Joe Manchin and Mitt Romney. So we'll have to see how that turns out. They will run as independents, so they don't have to go through any primaries. They don't have to go through any, they got to do something to get their names on the ballots. So we'll see what's in line for them. Like Barney Fife used to say, Andy, we got to nip it, Andy. So we'll see how that works out. Here's Tucker. I'm looking at during his trip to Moscow, Tucker paid a visit to a Russian grocery store and came away, quote, radicalized against Western leaders. Come on, Tucker. Let me see. Jerry Lee. Well, we don't have to say arrest all rhinos. We just arrest all people that have broken law. And guess what? They'll turn out to be rhinos. Right? You don't have to put a label on just rhinos. Just enforce the law, and they'll be in jail anyway. Well, it may, I hope it would fail spectacularly, but you got to remember, Ross Perot, he did his third-party run, and that's what got Bill Clinton in office. Bill Clinton was elected with less than 50% of the vote. I think he got 42%, 3%, something like that. He didn't even get close to 50. Zoe Bunny, you're not going to vote for him? Yeah, they know daggone good and well they're trying to be a spoiler and ruin things for Trump. And what I do now, when I go in chats, sometimes I get weak and I go in chats and make comments. Today I was jumping around watching the Fani Willis debacle, and it is shocking. On some channels, you see people who are sticking up for Fani Willis. In my chats, I'll have to get a screenshot of it so I can show you how I spell it, because I can't put the words in. But I say, do you support TRANS teachers, okay? Hormones in K lowercase LDSKIDS, right? Kids, wars, and I go down the list, and if my auto type gets to where it can do it for me, I could be like a bot. But that's the theme we got to say. Look, Trump's the only one who's going to stop human trafficking. He's the only one that's going to stop open borders. He's the only one that's going to stop the S3 actualization of our children. He's the only one that's going to do something about these radical TRANSs, right? He's the only. If you're not for Trump, you're de facto for these pre and then verted things. I say pre and then verted. Are you a pre and then vert? Is that what you are? Is that what kind of world you want to live in? So I wouldn't. You all don't have a like somebody takes me down on my channel. I got a backup, but I have to build it up. But you all can pretty much copy what I do, and they can't respond. What do you say if they say, "Oh, that's not true"? Then I say, who's going to stop it? Who's going to stop teachers that think that way? Who's going to close the border? Who's going to stop people from giving kids hormone shots? If you don't vote for Trump, that stuff is going to continue. And they can't answer it. The squad won't put their names on the $95 billion bill. Well, Mike Johnson said he's not going to put it out on the floor. But they want, unless they remove Israel. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Israel's going to get its. Even Trump pushes for that. Anyway, I agree. The last hope on earth. If we don't vote for Trump, what do we got? What kind of nightmare they want to create? And that's the thing about Putin. They can say what they want about him. He is not going to have this kind of garbage in his country. Like, I got two things from Clandestine. I don't agree with what he says all the time, but sometimes he'll codify things in a certain way that I agree with most of what he's saying. So as far as Putin goes, he says, let's say Putin does want to put nukes in space. Who can blame him? The West has created a global alliance solely to combat Russia. NATO started a war on his border, weaponized the dollar in the global economy, created and released BIO, okay? Things biological, engaged in P3Dophilia and human trafficking. What do you expect him to do? Sit back and let the West continue to destroy the world and red rum his people? And Clandestine says, this is Clandestine talking, I want to destroy us too. You're not going to sit there and let a bunch of lunatics and Satanists run over top of any of your towns and villages and try to overthrow your government, wanting to take people's children away if they don't agree to gender-affirming therapy. I mean, that's criminal. The other thing he came up with months ago, he said, I filed the Fulton County situation into the, quote, failed hoax folder in the back of my brain. I assumed it would dissolve quietly and the left would move on to the next hoax. But it has taken a turn that I did not see coming. Fani's meltdown not only destroyed her case, but will permeate into the other lawfare attempts to prevent Trump from reclaiming office. Now everyone can see just how insane these people are who are trying to imprison the current frontrunner and former president of the United States. So the other thing that these news agencies are lost on. Fani just created unlimited Trump campaign material and ruined any chance the media had at smearing Trump with these phony indictments. This is the nail in the coffin in the court of public opinion. Nobody's going to take these people seriously. In the end, Trump was never in any real danger, and the hoax only made him more popular. It happens every single time. Happens every single time. So, but I do feel that, Fani's got to step aside. I think it's in the cards. There's something about this judge that this is going to be put forward to actually put out receipts about what happened in Georgia with the votes. I think this is more down that line. Rather than prosecute Trump, I think this is designed to force the information out on the people in the public. So, anyway, let me see. I got a picture of the guy that, one of the guys, they say it was multiple people that did that Kansas City thing. Multiple people. Now they can't claim that it's some kind of militia member from Alabama, that's for sure. So the news isn't going to talk about it very much. It's somebody that's not a here. Witness Kansas City shooting says he heard a girl say, quote, "Don't do it here, not here. This is stupid," before the pew pew began. Her name was Gooch. Gooch said the gunman pulled out a weapon and just started spraying, I guess, and spinning in a circle. He was spinning around a circle and pulling that, you know what, with his finger. And that's how we got as many injuries. And that one, it is so sad. I don't know that anybody else passed away. I heard the one person who did, her name was Lisa Lopez, a young girl, DJ for a local radio station, KKFI, is the one who passed away. I don't know if you all heard that. Oh, really? Might have been. I don't know. It's hard to say. If it was an illegal, we'll never hear about it. We'll have to pry it out of them. Oh, you see more boo-boo tube channels against strikes talking about the POP3, POP3. Yeah, dip out of the chats and give me a thumbs up, Doug says. And then come back in. We'll wait for you. We'll be right here. And just before I went live, Citizens Free Press put up a video, about a minute-long video, big long line of people coming through the southern border in California. And it is fairly obvious that they're from CHYNA. Remember what I said? Remember what I said about all, and after I talked about the operation where they had people come over here just to give birth and then leave with citizens' papers for that child. They would leave when the baby was weeks old and go back to China, raise that kid for the next 18, 19, 20 years, totally indoctrinated into communist ideology, but they are U.S. citizens, and I think that's part of what is coming across the border right now. Couple that with what Biden hinted at yesterday about giving amnesty to illegals and allowing their family members to come. Folks, buckle up. And keep in mind that hoax about the missiles yesterday, stuff like that's going to happen. We know it's going to happen, but we know that something is going to break through that will cause your phone to go dark, that will cause problems as far as being able to go places when you want to go places, whether it's streets being blocked off or a gas shortage or who knows what. Get yourself in a situation where if you can't leave your house and you don't have any power, you don't have any communication, you got food, you got water, you got things you need to make it for at least you and your family, at least a week. I'd shoot for 2. So what if you got spaghetti, dry spaghetti, oatmeal, raisins, peanut butter, rice, whatever. Might not be the best thing in the world, but it beats starving. Make sure you got water stocked up and you got things you need to make it. Be creative. Pickle you some eggs and vinegar with a little bit of beet juice. Give it that red color. Dude's go shooting for 2 months. I don't think that deed would hold up in court, single songwriter for China. We'll send them packing. When DJT gets in there, I don't care what they kind of deed they claim to have for China, for California, he'll send them packing. Yeah, that's right, Phil, was gang related. I got a map from, where did I get that map? I think I got it from Citizens Free Press. It shows, what the heck? Here it is. Red are the Bloods, blue is the Crips, and unknown is black, and brown ones are Hispanic, probably Latin Kings. So they got them mapped out in Kansas City. They got them mapped. There's a lot of gang activity, and they need to do just what they did in El Salvador. You want to run around with tattoos and bragging that you belong to a gang, your backside is going to jail. Being a member of a criminal gang is criminal in itself. That's the ultimate right, though, right there. Belong to a corrupt criminal organization. Or claim that you do. I don't know. The picture I got, it doesn't look too juvie to me, Marilyn. Might be a young 19, 20-year-old, 18-year-old, maybe 17, I don't know, but it's not a little kid, that's for sure. Mr. T put out about a half hour before I went live, an hour maybe. Fani never paid cash. She got free trips and other things from her lover with the exorbitant amounts paid of money paid. She authorized to be paid to him. A giant scam, witch hunt. So, yeah, tomorrow's going to be a big day, folks. Have you all got a way to watch the Fani Willis circus? Now, the situation in New York, they say Trump's trial is going to start next month, March. And they say the trial is going to last 6 weeks. So we'll see, if there's any moves to delay it or what might be the case. And don't forget, tomorrow it was leaked, and Trump was very upset about it. And he said it was unethical, for this crooked judge to leak that he was going to release his decision about what to do in the other case, the New York case, about confiscating Trump property. They call it disgorgement. I call it confiscation, just like communists would do for running a successful business. He's going to announce his decision tomorrow. And that is going to they're going to try to overshadow the Fani follies that are going to happen tomorrow. So, yeah, whatever figure he puts on there, he could say $500 million, $500 billion, something completely insane. We're still going to be staring at Fani hard and keep the pressure up on them where they're losing. So let's see. All right, folks. I'm just seeing the chats here, what we got going on before I sign off for the night. Yeah, you put your water bottles on a towel or paper towels or a old towel or something in a cabinet. Yeah, osmosis, what you're talking about there, Phil. Osmosis. You can get funky stuff in your water through osmosis, even through glass, really. And Trump is going to be at a rally Saturday. Thank you, Nikki. I want to thank Bev and Mike for helping out with Buy Me a Coffee. I appreciate it very much. That was earlier. And that was yesterday. I appreciate it. And I had a lot of people this month helping out with Buy Me a Coffee. Chris and William and Christopher, Cameron, Gary. Whoops. Where'd let's go. Lone Wolf helped out. Hilarious helped out. Julie, Robin, and Miss Mendersue. So far this month, I appreciate y'all helping out. I got I'm gonna try to put my link in next time because I think it works. I put a link in for Nikki when they said I couldn't put in links, and people were able to go to Nikki's channel. So I'll try to put a link in tomorrow. I keep forgetting. But anyway, go to Buy Me a Coffee, enter Mountain Man if you want to help the channel out. It's greatly appreciated, and I'll give you a shout out, no problem at all. I can use laundry bottles to store non-potable water for washing clothes. That's right. Those big, heavy-duty plastic laundry detergent bottles are great for stuff like that. For washing clothes, flushing a can, yeah. And they're tough. I mean, they're tough. All right, folks. Well, I tell you what. I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. and keep calm, carry on, and the best is yet to come. I'll be going live, pretty sure tomorrow, and Saturdays I usually don't. But if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I go live, and you can be part of the chats, and we can all have a good time, folks, because stuff is gonna be cracking loose. You know, Fanny's not sleeping good tonight. You know that. It's time for them to start losing sleep. Not us, not Mr. T, and not us. It's time for them to start losing sleep. And Nathan made an idiot out of himself today. You can see a lot of clips that Trump put out on Truth Social, folks. So anyway, y'all have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.